What is the processor and mobile phones quad core and why is octa-core? All about phone processor. What is the processor in the mobile phone? The first question raises your mind. The processor is just a brain of the smartphone. Almost all everything on your phone depend on it. The phone processor, which is also known as chipset, control everything your phone and check where their all functions working. There should do it at engine define how to work. Usually the available resources, every command that you give your phone until the goes it is the processor has an output. You see visual changes on your display processor, the complete fractions of seconds. The important processor in mobile phones, the center above the smartphones of the processor, which is get execute each command, and you cannot imagine the performance billions of calculations in just a second. It is everything on the phone directly controlled by phone processor, which is result to the effectiveness of the applications you run. Each application you should phone, such as a camera, music player, email, browsing processor through your phone. The processor also, old processor could make you experience sluggish deal of the limited performance regardless of the carrier, operating system, brand. What is the second question raise your mind? What are the factors of the phone processor speed? The main processor speed at which is performance tasks depend on some factors such as the number of processors, cores, and the clock speed. A processor with high clock speed has a more cores or work fast, compare lessons, clock speed on cores, process cores. A processor or CPU can have to multiple cores, which is are called dual core, quad core, hexa core, octa core. But question is raising, what are the cores to your phone? The processor score disturbing task of the coming to the while you use your phone. Once core processor can process a certain instruction of this time, you will multi-cores. The instruction assigning the next core of this processor be completed. The result less time taken by your phone performance. A work is the reason multi-core processor phones are compatibility faster and functions the smart. Speed is meaning to number of instruction processor can execute in the seconds. The example 1 GHz processor is capable to process 1 billion of instructions per second. In other words, of the higher clock speed is the directly related to phones with the multiple processor cores. The high clock speed and the compatibility more expensive, but on the other hand of the influence speed of performance your smartphone. Dual core vs quad core vs hexa core is octa-core processors now available. The dual core and quad core, hexa core, and octa-core is nothing but the number of cores. It is a processor. Quad core vs hexa core vs octa-core processor. The dual core, hexa core, and octa-core processor nothing but the number of cores. It is the processor had to dual, quad, hex, and octa-core means 2, 4, 6, and 8. It is respectively, for example, octa-core processor has 8 cores. The quad core processor has 2 set of dual core and the chip of the same way. Octa-core processor has 2 set of quad core processors and the chip similarly hexa core contains in quad core processor. It is dual core processor. The processor speed goes faster successfully added core because the distributing work complete fast, but does not mean the octa-core processor has double power than quad core. Subsequently, not every time your phone requires multi-core wide simple reading, emails, and clicking feature does not require 8-core processor, your chipset processor, but the high-end gaming it may be required all the octa-core processors. The appropriate number cores and efficiency can provide better device that can fulfill your overall requirement. For example, Apple iPhone 11 using A13 Bionic chipset, constant 2 high performance cores and the energy efficiency cores, which is faster than to smart octa-core processor phone. and wonderful iPhone 11 is the powerful efficient. All company phone processor performance same. The two smartphones have the same gigahertz processor that don't necessarily performance same. It is reason behind different chipset manufacturers different ways of designing their processor or SOS system on chip. The currently few major companies are the mobile processors marketing MediaTek, Nvidia, Qualcomm, Samsung and Hexa Instruments. The companies are created CPUs with the different approaches. However, the architecture of this time the same, which ARM here. ARM is the company to give as architecture mobile processor make under certain license. The under license to guidelines ARM is some makes offer few cores for the higher clock speed, where the another offer more core and more less clock speed. The change the proportion of the combination of cores clock speed is the different SoC. It is the system on chip. For example, one company is offering dual core processor 1.8 GHz while another is the quad core processor 1.2 GHz. Result variation the speed and performance on your phone. How choose phone based on the processor is the another question raising your brain. The maintain above the processor performance depending on two factors. First is the core and the other is the clock speed. You can choose the Hexa-core or the Octa-core processor devices you work heavily on your phone. For example, you are gamer and high-end gamer, you need to powerful processor with high number of cores with high clock speed, but is usually check emails, click photos, play music. Your phones does not need many cores and many processors. In the word of the you are unnecessarily get high-end processor without you are using the means you are expended more than to accurate requirement, and don't not to forget your high number of cores means the faster battery drain out. However, some new octa-core processor phones are coming with the fine balance efficiency speed. For example, Qualcomm new snapdragon processor 840 chipset offer 8 cores. Out of course 4 are clock speed at 28 GHz to the provide maximum performance. The remaining 4 of clock speed is 1.7 GHz to deliver efficiency of the device consume less battery. There are two major companies, Qualcomm, MediaTek, providing chipset on the phone companies. Both companies have various chipsets with the different classical, and the Qualcomm has the launching flagship processor. Snapdragon is the 845, which is the highest performance, which is the most high-end phones. The feature is the SOS. On the other hand, the MediaTek also supplied entire mid and premium range processors, and the high-end is set alloy X. Many crores of in the phone processor. The factor is that you don't need to the much processor power from most the task using smartphones. For the example, you navigated through the home screen and messages browsing does not need much power CPUs. However, HD videos recording, high speed gaming and photos editing required some power. The multi-core processor consumes more power from your phone battery, which is result to faster battery drain out. So phone with octa-core processor chipset need to advanced technology battery to that is phone is the compared most faster without comparison battery life. The outline the you consider camera quality, display screen, other few features are before buying the phone. The processor always one of the most important factors you should consider, because all you do know your phone controlled by it. Also, the phone performance equal depending on your phone processor. The phone technology are grow up and they have to started seeing octa-core processors. It is phone, but you should also consider battery capacity while consumption the battery power. The companies are also work designing multi-core processor phones using new batteries. The technologies of the can easily to compatible with the high-end processor and fit into your budget. Please subscribe our Tech channel. Please like my Tech channel. Thanking you once again. Your sense.